Hello, beautiful. I'm your host, Nicole Goff. Welcome to the Ecstatic Life Podcast, the podcast for women who want it all: health, wealth, freedom, authenticity, love, beauty, all of the hidden gems just waiting to be uncovered. This is the podcast for women who are ready to discover their inner creatrix, to discover their inner manifester, and who want to find the ecstatic in every day. Hi, welcome back to the Ecstatic Life Podcast. Today I'm going to be doing a solo episode on how a regular detox practice can make your life more ecstatic. So for me, I have been doing detoxes on and off for many years, but at the beginning of this year, I committed to doing some pretty intense detoxification. I have been struggling with what I believe is an underlying candida infection for many, many years. And it causes skin flare-ups that are very itchy. And it's been a real source of discomfort and misery for me for a lot of years. And so I decided that this year I am going to go hard on some detoxing. I am at the end of my nursing journey with my babies. My littlest is 2 now and will be weaning soon. And so I thought, well, I'm barely nursing. Now's the time. I thought I would actually end my nursing journey at 2, and that would assist in the detox process, but I'm having some reservations about giving up on that nursing relationship 100%. So we are still breastfeeding a couple of times a day. But yeah, it's not really recommended to do heavy detoxes while you're breastfeeding, especially with little tiny infants. But I've gone ahead. I've gone with it. I'm doing some, and I started out at the beginning of the year with my first practice being a carnivore diet. This came about because my husband has been having severe migraines for many years, and he's tried eliminating all of the bad habits out of his, routine and diet and everything, and getting enough sleep, and yet he was still getting them. And so I suggested maybe a detox would help for that. And I could not get him to commit to any of the ones in my long list that I will be giving you of detox options, except for the carnivore diet. And I'm not exactly sure why the carnivore diet works as a detox, but I have some good friends who have been doing it for a while, and they suggested it. And I said, you know what? If I can get him to do it, I will go along with him for support. So I started the new year off with a strict carnivore diet, and it was really challenging for me because I am not a big meat eater. I've had stints of vegetarianism, and I get turned off by meat very easily. So I was really kind of pushed to out of my comfort zone with this diet. And it was a very interesting experience. So the plan was to do it for 30 days. We made it 9 days, and it was not me who gave up. It was my husband, surprisingly. He got revolted by meat, and to the point where he was miserably rejecting everything. And this was very interesting because he is generally like a meat and potatoes guy. Excuse me. And he normally loves meat. That's like his main portion of, any meal that we have. I, on the other hand, actually started really craving the meat. Like, I have never enjoyed meat so much in my life as when I was eating nothing but the meat. And so like a typical day in the carnivore diet for me, I could still have coffee, heavy whipping cream, butter. I don't tolerate milk, so I couldn't have milk, but my husband had milk and cheese. But I would have coffee with heavy whipping cream and butter and bacon and eggs or sausage and eggs for breakfast. And then for lunch, I would have like a plain hamburger patty or like a hamburger patty with like bacon or a fish burger or something like that. As a snack, I was having pork rinds or like slices of salami. Sometimes I was like dipping pork rinds in sour cream, meat sticks. And for dinner, we were doing like curried goat or smoked meat. We have a smoker, or steak or more hamburgers. And sometimes I was then making that with like a side of ground beef or sausage as like a side to go with the other meat. I was still cooking vegetables and grains for my children, which was a little bit torturous. And I will say the first few days I was hungry a lot. I think that was when you go into ketosis. So you start burning fat as your fuel instead of the carbs. So during that time, I was very hungry. For several days, I just felt hungry all the time. And so my friends had told me for that part, just eat as much as you want. And so I did, just stuffed myself on meat. And my friend had also said, eat plain butter. And so I would just take like spoonfuls of plain butter and just eating straight butter as a snack. And I found that I started drinking extra coffee because the heavy whipping cream and the butter and the coffee was very satiating. So I started having extra coffee. So I did notice I had a lot more energy. I felt very energized and was like in a good mood. I was like craving the animal products. I was craving the meat and it tasted good. Like even like goat, like the curried goat and the lamb that I made. Normally I'm it's a little gamey, but I loved it. So yeah, very interesting experience. But on day 9, my husband gave up. And so I was like, well, this wasn't really what I wanted to do for my body as far as a detoxification process. And so I happily said, okay. And I gave up on that as well. I moved straight from that into a program with a diet that could almost seem to be more restrictive than an all-meat carnivore diet. But before I get into that, I did want to say, so what is a detox? What is detoxification? Also known as cleansing. So detoxification refers to the process of removing harmful substances, toxins, from the body. So the human body has natural detox mechanisms, so primarily through the liver, the kidneys, and the intestines. So these organs work together to filter and eliminate toxins. The liver metabolizes and breaks down toxins, the kidneys excrete the toxins through urine, and the intestines eliminate the toxins through feces. So that is your body's natural detoxification process. We also detox via sweat. So I have a sauna, and the use of the sauna, or also for like exercise, especially intermittent exercise, even just working out in the garden, in the sun and sweating, that's detoxification. But usually when we refer to cleanses or detoxes, we're talking about something beyond our physical detox process. So there are a lot of alternative practices that can promote or enhance these natural processes. And so I've experimented with a lot over the years. And one that I picked back up that I had tried before was the amazing liver and gallbladder flush. And this was created by Andreas Moritz, and I have done it in the past. It releases gallbladder stones that have been accumulating in your liver. And these gallbladder stones are essentially full of toxins that your body can't process otherwise. And so it stores them in these fatty globules. And it is pretty crazy what will come out of you when you do this flush. And it is, you fast for a day. Leading up to it, you follow a kind of a strict diet, and you drink malic acid to soften the gallstones. And then you drink fresh squeezed, you drink Epsom salts, and then you drink fresh squeezed grapefruit juice with olive oil. And this prompts the body to release, to dilate the gallbladder ducts and to release the gallstones. And it was so crazy the last time I did it. I have a private space, my Patreon. I showed pictures and did a full description there. It's $5 a month if you want to sign up. It supports this channel. I'd super appreciate it. But that's where I share things that are like too hot for the public, and these pictures of these gallstones and the description of the process, the full instructions is probably too much for the general public. So if you're interested in doing it, I definitely recommend signing up there and checking it out. And I also definitely recommend getting the book and following the protocol. There are all kinds of protocols that are out there on the internet that aren't correct. But if you follow Dr. Moritz's protocol correctly, you'll have crazy results. So I did that during my carnivore diet stint, and I planned on doing them once a month under the full moon. He says is the best time to do them. And after doing the first one and stopping the carnivore diet, like I said, moved into a program called Vital Mind Reset. And in that program, you use coffee enemas for the same process. So it stimulates the bile ducts, it stimulates liver to release toxins. And you don't release the big gallstones. I mean, like, I got a big one out. It was so crazy. It was like bigger than a quarter. You have to go look at the pictures to see. It was kind of horrific. But you don't release big gallstones. But since it's stimulating the same detox pathways, I decided maybe it would not be good to, overlap them, because you can overdo it with detoxification and get reaction symptoms. So I actually think one of the things from the protocol I'm on right now that I have actually developed is this patch of eczema under my eye. I never get eczema, but I think the detoxification is causing my body to push out some toxins through that spot. So that is one of the consequences that can happen. And depending on what type of detox you're doing, I know even with carnivore or keto diet, or any of these lifestyle modifications, diet changes, you can end up with what they call like the keto flu or the carnivore flu, detox flu, and you get symptoms, flu-like symptoms sometimes. You can get rashes on your skin, like what I've got going on under my eye. But as your body is trying to push out all of these toxins, sometimes your organs are not able to process the toxins fast enough at a rate to keep up. So you can end up, common side effects are fatigue, bloating, increased symptoms of anxiety, outbreaks and outbursts of bad behavior. So things can pop up emotionally when you're detoxing, and I did have that happen this time too. So the protocol that I'm on now, strict kind of paleo diet, no grains, absolutely no gluten, absolutely no sugar, everything organic. And I was really surprised because I thought I ate healthy. Like I thought I 80-20, like 80% of the time I eat super clean, and then 20% of the time I cheat a little bit. But I realized how much more maybe I was cheating than I thought when I completely eliminated these foods and only ate completely clean. It's been about a month now. And one of the main things, I had to give up all drinks that were not water. I realized how much I was relying on coffee or tea, not even like high levels of caffeine, but caffeine, and how addicted I was to it. And very strict, no alcohol, no other substances, no even like, kava or any, like nothing like that. And I do sometimes use tinctures for sleep and things like that. And I had no idea how reliant I was on some of these things. And so maybe partially detoxing from those, I guess, dependencies, you would call them, even though it's not what you typically think of as a dependency. But partially the detoxing from that caused some emotional reaction. I actually realized I had this sadness come up. Like I had this emotional connection to my coffee. And so it started, me and my dad used to drink coffee together when I was like, an older kid. I would get up first thing in the morning and I would have some coffee with him before he went to work. And it was just this connection that I formed. So I developed this relationship with coffee that wasn't just like caffeine fix, but the ritual of it actually held this significance for me. And I actually cried, which seems kind of silly, but I cried giving it up because it was like I was mourning, like losing something. Beyond that, I think the process of eliminating all of the carbs and the things that, you turn to as a crutch when you're feeling sad or overwhelmed or angry or whatever, you turn to these things to lift your mood up, chocolate and whatever. And so I don't think I realized how much I was relying on that kind of stuff. And so in the absence of it and having to sit with uncomfortable emotions, I had some kind of depression, maybe not depression, but depressive feelings come up. I mean, I'm normally like a pretty happy, bubbly person. And so just to feel kind of like low and kind of down was weird for me. And so it's interesting because the flare-ups, skin stuff and headaches and, all this is part of it. But then the mood stuff, that kind of surprised me. I didn't expect that. And so the skin stuff, I mean, this here, I think that's my body, maybe pushing out some of that candida. I talked to my herbalist friend and he said that it's likely candida that's, getting pushed out of my body. And so if my liver is unable to process all the candida and, I'm not able to excrete it, then it's showing up in other places. So that's pretty normal, but annoying. So I think I've talked about all the side effects of detoxing, but I don't think I have gone over the benefits. So that is an important part. There are a ton of benefits for regular detoxing. I mean, if you think about it, our environment currently is so full of toxicants, pollutants. I mean, the crap they're spraying in the skies, the crap people are spraying on their lawns, the pesticides on the foods and herbicides and the poisons in our water. And I mean, on and on and on and on. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. We all know how hard it is to find good, clean, healthy food, good, clean, healthy water, and good, clean, healthy air. I mean, it's sad. Heavy metals and, all the stuff they're spraying and whatever else we're consuming on a daily basis through our lungs and our skin. I mean, that's not even to mention like the stuff we put on ourselves. If you're still using cosmetics and hair care products and deodorants that are, the typical brands, the P&G owned and whatever, and not using the all natural kind, then, you're poisoning yourself. All that gets absorbed into the body, and it's a very big source of toxins. So I definitely recommend, combing through all of your beauty supplies and going all natural, organic. But that's for another podcast. So the benefits of detoxing: increased energy, improved skin once you get past the outbreak part, clear thinking, so it clears up brain fog, and that is another benefit that I have noticed. It relieves inflammation. So a lot of times, when we're having chronic inflammation, which, was what was happening, I believe, due to my candida overgrowth, it clears out that chronic inflammation. And sometimes you don't even realize until afterwards, like, wow, you feel so much lighter, so much better. We just get used to the, heavy feelings in our bodies, the pain and the inflammation. And then once it's not there, it's like, whoa. But it restores your pH balance. It can be used for weight loss. So I did during the carnivore diet. I got down to 117 pounds. Like, it was crazy. I felt like I looked amazing. I gained a few of those pounds back when I got back off of it. But that the ketogenic, I'd done keto diet before. The ketogenic stuff when you're in ketosis and burning your fat. It's pretty remarkable how quick you can lose weight. But it's not recommended long term for women. So definitely do your own research into that, or maybe for another podcast I'll talk about that. But other benefits, anti-aging benefits, helps digestion, reduces cravings, eliminates the excess waste in your body. So, you wouldn't believe how much like old shit literally is just like stuck in your body. Improves your liver function, improves circulation, strengthens your immune system, helps with hair health, hair growth. What else? Oh, the mood stuff enhances your mood and your sense of well-being. I already said mental clarity, balances your emotions, improves your organ function. So again, with the emotion stuff, if you're going through a pretty severe detox, there might be an arc. It might make things worse before they get better. Which is what I experienced this time. And there are a lot of different types of detoxes. Some that are more gentle and can be used every day, and some that are, more intense. And, there's some that even require going to clinics to do if you're having, real severe problems. There are clinics that can help you with that process. People that are, experiencing cancer, those kinds of things. But for the purpose of this show, I'll talk about ones that you can do at home that are relatively safe. Another benefit I forgot: parasite removal. So removing yeast and bacteria and parasites. So I have noticed several times when I've done detoxes that weird, stringy things come out. Sometimes mucus. Sometimes you will, you'll have a bowel movement and there'll be a bunch of mucus that comes out when you're doing a detox. Or sometimes, I haven't ever like picked one out to see, but things that definitely have looked like parasites. And, most of us are carrying around parasites. So it's, not surprising that we would have some flush out like that. So back to the ones you can do at home, some easy ones that I recommend. And the ones that get your lymphatic system flowing can help with because the lymphatic system is our detox pathway. So we have a lot of lymph nodes in our neck and in our armpits, in our groin area. And so gently massaging these, and this can be done. I do a lymphatic massage every day, but also can be done with a dry brushing, gets your lymphatic system going. And that can aid, if you're doing a stronger detox, that can aid in the detoxification process because it can help move any stagnant lymph fluids, and you want to move it down towards your core, your central area here for processing. So you brush the fluid from your limbs down or up to your core area. And I'm actually creating a course right now. It's a 7-day detox challenge that goes into detail about that. And that will be up on my website soon. If you need more support too, you can reach out to me and I can do one-on-one support with that. Yeah, so that is dry brushing or lymphatic massage is very gentle and can be done every day. Sweating. So, like I was saying, you can just sweat outside, work out, run, that kind of thing. Also saunas. If you have access to a sauna, my mom gave me her old sauna when she moved, and it's been an amazing asset to have. And I use that several days a week. I just heard a study I think it was in Sweden, that found, because they, I guess, do, a lot of people have saunas there. They found that if you use your sauna several days a week, that your longevity increases and your overall chance of dying from anything decreases significantly. So I'm really excited about that. But, I get in there and sweat, hot, cold showers. So, or if you have access to some kind of a plunge, ice baths or whatever. But that also stimulates your immune system very well. But in the shower, and a lot of times I do this after I sweat in my sauna, I get into the shower and you alternate between hot water, as hot as you can stand it, and cold water, as cold as you can stand it, for as long as you can stand it. And you go back and forth a couple of times. I always like to end on cold because it closes your pores in your skin and it closes the follicles of your hair. So that's best for your skin. And if you even just do it one time after you take your nice hot shower, at the end, just turn it to cold, let that run over you. It's really good for your immune system, detoxing and the skin. And that's like super safe. That's I guess, unless you have a heart condition or something and you're not supposed to exercise or sweat too much. But in general, those are very, very safe detoxing things that you can do every day. There's some things that you can, detox like through a bath, through a soak. You can use fulvic humic acid, bentonite clay, baking soda, Epsom salt. You can mix them all together and you can take a bath or make a foot bath to soak your feet in. And you want to soak for like 20 to 30 minutes. But bentonite clay is ancient volcanic ash, and fulvic and humic acid are ancient peat bog silt. And both of these have really unique ability to produce an electrical charge upon contact with fluid. So this enables it to absorb and remove toxicants, heavy metals, impurities, and chemicals from the body without hurting your cells or anything like that. But they can attach on, they create an electrical charge and can attach on to heavy metal molecules and toxins and things and pull them out of your body. So they can be taken in internally or externally. So you can use them externally in a bath and it will pull toxicants straight out of your skin pores. Or you can take them internally. There are, I think Shilajit is another one that's like that. There are, liquid versions that you can take internally and they flush everything out. And when doing that, I have had results where I did have, like I said before, mucus and what looked like parasites get pulled out. I have a friend who, when he was doing the foot soaks, he had shards of metal actually come out of his pores, bits of metal, because he had heavy metal toxicity. So it's pretty amazing what they can do. And they are all considered very, very safe. It's not something you would want to do every day forever. You do them for a period of time as needed and take breaks. But very, safe. Baking soda also. Baking soda will neutralize your pH. So if you take that internally, just baking soda and water, it will help to balance your pH if you're too acid. So sometimes when we're getting sick or, inflammation will cause our pH to be too acid. And so baking soda. Another one that I've started, I mentioned before, coffee enemas. So this probably sounds crazy and maybe scary and weird to a lot of people. So yeah, the coffee enema is just like it sounds. It's an enema with coffee. And I am creating a whole talk about that on the private podcast, the extra stuff. If you want to join my $5 a month club, you can hear all about the adventures of the coffee enema. But the coffee enema has, some amazing side effects, and it's not as scary as it might seem. The first time, maybe it was a little scary, but once I did it a couple of times, and it just makes you feel amazing afterwards. And so, like I said before, it detoxes the liver. It helps with liver detoxification, and people have amazing results. I mean, there are people that swear by them, do them every day, and just, I'm doing them about 3 times a week right now. But along that line, there's also like colonic irrigation, which is you can go have someone do the enema, like a very intense enema for you, flushing your whole colon out. I have never done that before, but people do use that for detox. And there's like juice cleanses and herbal cleanses that you can do that make you essentially shit your brains out. And that's a great way to remove toxins. The Epsom salts also, you can drink Epsom salts. That'll make you shit your brains out too. So if you need to just a good system clear, I mean, I think I've said this before, but I haven't gotten sick in a whole year since I've been habit stacking is what it's called. Since I've been stacking different healthy practices on top of each other, I have not gotten sick at all. And if you keep on top of your cleanses, you are taking away the need for your body to have a fever or, diarrhea, because that is your body cleansing itself. Your body becomes susceptible to germs, quote unquote, germs that are out there. And all my kids have gotten sick. My husband's gotten sick. My parents, when they were living here with us, got sick. Everybody around me got sick. I did not get sick at all. I would feel maybe a tiny bit of immune suppression coming on, and I'd go to my, herbal medicine cabinet or, whatever my natural remedies are. And then within 24 hours, I would feel better. But I think the detoxing practices, because I'm staying on top of my health, my terrain theory is what I've been subscribing to lately over germ theory. I have been taking really good care of my terrain, and therefore my body doesn't need to detox itself with, these, germs. Again, I'm not sure about these terms anymore. Viruses, whether they're real or what they are they energy? This is for another whole podcast, I think. Maybe I'll have the terrain theory guys come on. I would love to get them on, talk about terrain theory, because that's a very interesting subject and controversial. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look into it. But don't look on Google, because they'll say it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah. So another detox process that I've taken up is fasting. And I'm doing intermittent fasting. I want to do a long fast, but still breastfeeding, I don't know how possible it would be. I would not want to make myself get weak. So I'm not sure how long I can go, but I have been doing intermittent fasting. And at first I started with 12-12 fasting. So eating for 12 hours, not eating for 12 hours. And then I slowly have cut my food allowance window down. And so after 12 hours, there's whole metabolic processes that start happening when you aren't digesting for 12 hours. After 15 hours, there's all kinds of repairs that start happening, or cellular repairs. And the longer you go, the more healing happens within your body. Because when your body is concentrating on digesting food, it's not doing all these cellular repairs. So it's pretty amazing. I think the longest I've done now was like 15 hours, 16 hours maybe. So, I mean, that's not, it's not a super long time. Actually, when I did the liver detox, I think it was a little bit more than that. The amazing gallbladder and liver flush. But I was also drinking Epsom salt and having watery diarrhea for that whole time. So that was just a whole other experience. But there are a ton of benefits to fasting, and it's been, I think it's a new habit for me now. And I would like to keep, to push it and see how far I can go with it. I'd really love to do like a 3-day fast. So we will see. Yeah, I see. Oh, I forgot one that is one of my favorites, which is vinegar tonics. So I've been doing vinegar tonics for years, and that's another, fairly safe one. I will say you don't want to drink a lot of vinegar straight or too much, because it will eat the enamel off your teeth. So you want to mix it with water, and you want to limit it to like a couple of tablespoons a day. But vinegar tonics, you can add like lemon juice, or you can I have been making fire ciders. So like hot peppers, peppercorns, oranges, cinnamon, just all kinds of different spicy warming things. And you put it in a jar of vinegar and you let it ferment for a couple of weeks. You strain the solids out, and then I drink, like a tablespoon of that with a cup of warm water. And I feel like that keeps all the bugs away. Another one I took up recently is tongue scraping. So this year I've been doing with it's like a copper wire. You scrape your tongue, and that's, again, you do it every single day. Very gentle on the body. And dandelion root tea. That's another one you can drink daily, and that helps detoxify the liver. There are a lot of other herbs. I'm not super familiar with the herbs, so I don't want to recommend anything. I would say go to an herbalist, talk to somebody that really knows herbs. I'm not super well versed on herbs, and so I hate to recommend anything that could have negative side effects. But dandelion root tea you can drink every day. It is a delicious coffee substitute. If you get roasted dandelion root, you can grind it and brew it just like coffee. Oh, one more I do regularly: oil pulling, which is you take coconut oil and you swish it in your mouth. So you do it from like 2 to 20 minutes, as long as you can stand it. You'll build up your cheek muscles swishing it, and that pulls a lot of toxins from your system too. And helps keep your mouth clean. So, yes, detoxing. I hope this has been super informative. I hope you've gotten a lot out of it. I hope that you take some of these and try them on for yourself. I would love to support you with this. I am available. You can reach me on my website, NicoleGoffSpeaks.com. Contact me. I would be so more than happy to help you. I have several 7-day detox programs, and I would love to tailor it to your needs and assist you with that. And keep an eye out also on my website. I will have that course coming up soon. So until next time, keep living ecstatically. Bye.